All right, y'all. We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
My dog, my brother.
Yes, sir.
You know, my boy R.A.W. I'm gonna say from Philly. I'm gonna let him explain that.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
but Ohio guy. You know, grew up together, but been working hard in the rap game right now. You know, trying to get them ends to meet, and basically we want to again. You know, this podcast is about bridging the gap. You know, letting these youngins know you continue working, continue networking in a positive light. We can get where we need to get. All right, so we're gonna go through Raw's story and just get this going. All right, so. First thing, again, I just want to introduce y'all to R.A.W. You know, I'm gonna let him hit y'all with those ats later, you know, so y'all can follow my man. Y'all make sure y'all check out his music and stuff. But we're gonna get right into the interview here, okay? So, R.A.W., just tell me a little bit about yourself, my man.
Yeah, like you said, you know, born in Ohio, moved around a lot. I consider Philly home. Spent a lot of years there, a lot of time, get a lot of love there. So over time, it just became home. So you know, that's basically just what I represent. But I can never forget I was born in Columbus and still got Ohio ties. You know, and especially like meeting you, like times like in the summer I'll be in Cincinnati, you know, playing AAU and all that. So, you know, I still got Ohio ties, you know what I mean? But just moving around a lot through the years and being here, spend all that time in Philly. Philly's what I consider home.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, man, you know, went through a lot, had like crazy family situations. Certain people living here, living there. You know, sometimes it was cool, sometimes it was not cool. But just having crazy family situations and then running to the streets, you know, just to, you know, make things happen and get that acceptance, you know, caused a lot of, you know, turmoil in my life. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I almost died 3 times in less than 3 months. I was kicked out of high school at one point because I was hooping. I was at a prep school to hoop. But got injured, started doing the street stuff again. You know what I mean? I was while people was at, you know, homecoming and prom, I was on Greyhounds with the drugs and duffel bag going to different cities trapping and getting into stuff. So not to glorify it, but just showing detailing how, like, you know, I was on that path. And then you know, by the grace of God, you know, because I was doing online school, still graduated online, graduated on time. And but then had a kid right after high school. So then that, you know what I mean? It was a bunch of things that, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, so there was ups and downs, but through it all, you know, I stayed solid and, you know, gotta give glory to God for still keeping me here. So that's just like a little bit in a nutshell. You know, kind of like a summary, but you know, whatever, you know, questions there is, you know, I can kind of get more detail.
Yeah, for sure.
See, that's just a summary, I guess.
Yeah, that was a great summary.
Yeah,
so you know,
right.
But so basically, you said you said a few kids in different households, right? So like, how many is it in total, like siblings wise? Do you like?
Yeah, but I'm saying no. I got 2 brothers and a sister, but because of family issues, we didn't always live in the same house.
Gotcha.
Like, it'd be like here, I'm in this city, y'all here. You know what I mean? So it was just like, you know, that's not to put anybody on blast. It's just how it happened. Because I wasn't the perfect kid either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying it was like, you know, me and my mom was cool now, everything, but it was just a lot of things that happened behind the scenes to where it caused a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? And it caused me to be closer to other people's families at certain times of my own. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm glad, like, you grow. I'm glad that now, like, even if it's not like the best, it's still a relationship.
Still a relationship, yeah.
It's no animosity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy family situations at certain times.
Got you. And mom and dad was around, right? Like,
yeah, certain times. Certain times, yeah,
okay.
Certain times. It would just depend on what time it was. Because I really didn't have a relationship with, and I don't want to get too deep in that because it's like it's certain stuff I can't even speak on.
Right.
But you know, the father figure I was supposed to have, I never really had, and my mama said that. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, there's no animosity there either. Like the father figure I was supposed to have, like, it's cool, I guess, it's cordial. But I'm not gonna lie and say we're the closest, but it's no animosity either.
Got you.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of like why, like, through all that, I kind of ran towards other people, such as the drug dealers or, you know, everybody, because I felt that love and acceptance, and they like put on for me. And looking back at it, it really wasn't putting on because it was just, people only know what they know, but it's like, that lifestyle is poison.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But that's all I had at some points.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like, it's crazy because it's like, I learned at a young age, God can work through anybody. The devil can work through anybody too.
Mm-hmm.
The devil can work through a church person to try to label you the wrong way, judge you the wrong way. Not saying they're the devil, but he can work through those spirits, those mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
But then I seen God bless me through people who society would label not right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of able to see God's grace and God's love at different levels throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, and we, as I know for a fact, you always kind of been a spiritual guy. Very inspirational.
Yeah.
Backstory here, y'all. Just let y'all know he is the one kind of the reason why I'm doing this podcast. One day he just told me like, Fred, just do it. I've been talking about it so much, like. Right. I needed somebody just to tell me just to do it, and
right.
This is a guy like I would say he's a great friend, my brother, but like we like advisor. If it's a problem going on, we calling. So that's just the backstory there a little bit. Now I know I met you in Cincinnati. Are you from Columbus? Like were you born in Columbus?
I was born in Columbus.
Got
I moved around a lot, so I moved around like 7 times before I was 14.
Got you.
So it'll be all over the place in certain family situations. That's what I'm saying. Like like Columbus is my birthplace, but I would just be so in and out, and I'll be all over the place and just. You know what I mean? So I don't really consider it home. But like Cincinnati, like when I'm in Ohio, all right, so if I didn't have my son, I probably would, I'm not even being funny, I probably would never be in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But he's here though.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to come see my son. That's why I go back and forth. So anytime I do come to Columbus, Cincinnati is my favorite city in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the vibe, I like the people, I like the mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I look at Cincinnati like a home away from home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
There's relationships I got with people, time I did spend down here, so I built solid relationships. Even though I was here for only like a little bit of time, or like back or whatever, it's just kind of like, I love Cincinnati though.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I think the Natty is thorough. I think it's extremely dope. I think it's a lot of culture here. I think it's got its own identity.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with it because of that.
Yeah. Got you. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because we had that conversation about like how we thought about how I think about Columbus and how you think about Cincinnati. So it's kind of like we understand because it's like we live here. So it's like you were able to live both places. Like I did when I went to school up there, and then was
for sure.
That's another story as well.
So even though Columbus isn't my favorite place for my own reasons. There's still real people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it still moves its own way. It's just for me, it wasn't for me.
Right.
So if someone else thinks that Columbus is the best city in the world, great. I'm not hating.
Mm-hmm.
But how I move and things I experienced there, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
But that's not to say that everybody from Columbus is this way or that way. It's just my overall feel of it.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's
sure.
I know some real ones in Columbus. It moves different than Cincinnati because Columbus be on the gang shit.
Yeah.
Serious.
That's a fact.
So it moves different, there's real ones, there's fake ones everywhere. But like I said, just overall vibe, it just wasn't for me. But if Columbus is for you, and that's what you rep, and that's home to you, that's great. I'm not disrespecting nobody's hood, nobody's city.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So, that was a great answer. That kind of segue into, I know you travel a lot, but now you call Philly home.
Yeah.
And what has Philly done to embrace you, or to how do you feel when you get down there? Because we're going to get into those certain connections and stuff, but I know when I talk to you, it's a different energy when you're in Philly. You know what I mean? Or just basically kind of just.
I just feel like because I've always been in and out of there, and I've always spent time there and lived there multiple, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years. So it just feels like home, man. It's just the love you get. Like I said, the amount of time I spent, the influence it has on me, whether it's fashion or musically, it's just home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just home. So technically, I got two homes. I got my Columbus birthplace in Philly, but Philly is home.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? And I've been around, even if it's been short, times other places like DC, PG County, Jersey, up New York, Chicago, Atlanta, which is I
was about
to
say
my favorite places. There's been times every time I go out to LA, it's for a month. So I've experienced all these Florida. I've been everywhere, so I've seen it all. But no matter where I go, it's just like Philly is it for me. It's just I don't know if it's just that's where God wanted me to be at, or just God, you know what I mean, or whatever. But So yeah, Philly's my favorite place as home. But other than Philly, I would say Atlanta, Houston, definitely New York. New York's a whole vibe. Harlem's the best. It's the best. Harlem. So my top 3 spots would be Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx.
Harlem, Brooklyn. Okay.
Harlem is it though. If I like anytime I'm in New York, I'm going to Harlem. Bro.
By far.
Different. Yeah, I fuck with Harlem though. It's a whole vibe. It's like the energy's different. It's just that's where all the trends come from. That's where all the it's just Harlem's the mecca.
Right.
But Brooklyn's third. I mean, everybody has their own identity, but for me, I just rock with Harlem, man.
Harlem.
Uptown.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I know you were talking about you moved a lot of places, like 7 places before you were 14. Is that possibly like a reason why you kind of move around now? Like, I mean, so rapidly, you know what I mean?
I think everything happens for a reason. I think everything happened how it was to happen so I could be ready for things later in life. Because a lot of people, they've only know one thing, so they're scared to move around. They're like, I don't know people here. I cannot know anybody. So I'm going out and then immediately meet people, they fuck with me, and then it's like, I'm just in the area.
Right.
But because I got used to moving around and meeting new people, having to be like, no matter where I'm at, whether I'm in Cincinnati, Philly, New York, I'm the same person. Same guy. You know what I mean? I get the same love and respect. But that's just because I'm always comfortable who I am wherever I go.
Right.
I don't got to put on a show for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I can be the coolest, calmest dude. We can joke. We can talk music. We can do that. Or if it's a problem, I know how to handle that too. And people will get the memo. And that's stamped.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that was another thing too, because I was like, to go back on the inspirational part, he is inspirational, but he can be on Demon Time, right? So we,
Gangsta and the Gentleman.
Gangsta and the Gentleman. Yeah, hey, that's
but see, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not to like, I don't do it no more. Like, I never really did it for that reason, but I don't do it to boast, I don't do it to brag, I don't do it to try to demean nobody. But it's like environments I've lived in and came up in, you know, when people test you, you gotta show people I'm not the one. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just comes from that. Like I don't walk around. That's why I get so much respect. I don't get respect because I'm just walking around trying to be the biggest killer. But I get respect because I give respect. And then people who disrespect, they get dealt with, and other people respect that. So that's all it is, bro. I'm not out here trying to be like I'm the biggest tough guy, or whatever. But I know how to handle the biggest tough guy, though. That's all it is. It's just being a man.
Man first.
Yeah, and that's what being a gangster is. It's just standing on your word. Standing on your word. You know, having principles. If you say something, stand on it, and that's really what it is.
That's what it is.
And being wise, though. Think being reckless doesn't always mean being a gangster. Being reckless and being a savage doesn't always mean you're a gangster. You're just reckless. Just a nut. That's all it means.
Yo, that's the Philly swag.